Do you have any weird like rituals or superstitions when you're winning?
If I'm on hot streaks, stuff like that. For instance, when I was on 10 days plus of max plays, I actually wasn't showering. That's how superstitious I was. I know it sounds a little gross, but hey man, girls were still going down on me. I had to wave my hand a little bit to get the fumes out of the way. But hey, it still works, man. So.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode. All right, guys, we're talking sports betting here today. We got Pat's picks. You're coming off a hot winning streak, right?
Yeah. So, I've been crushing parlays recently, and then also my max play of the day, which is my most guaranteed play of the day. I've been on a pretty hot streak as well.
Nice. What type of parlays? What kind of sports are you doing?
So mainly, I cover all sports. I really like soccer. I think soccer is probably my most profitable sport. NHL though, UFC. MLB now that the season started. So yeah, I cover everything, and parlays can, either be, one sport specific where like the legs are made up just from that sport, or they can be a combination of different ones as well.
Yeah. What's the most you've hit on a parlay?
I've hit a parlay for $1 million actually 16 days into this new year.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a 50x parlay. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So I think it was like 22,000 to a million. So.
Oh my god! Did you go out and celebrate?
Yeah. So went pretty crazy off that one. But parlays like that happen all the time. It just depends on the multipliers, and how much you put on it in that given time. Like you could put $1,000 on that and you make 50K, but yeah, you could put 20K and make $1 million either. So I
just saw someone, one of your students hit 80 or $100, turned it into 80K.
Yeah. So one of my lifetime members actually. So in my lifetime community, we also have a lifetime VIP chat and custom community tickets. So my lifetime members can actually talk together and make their own tickets as well. But yeah, using a lot of my picks across all sports, this guy combined his own crazy parlay, and it was $100 to 80K. So
oh my gosh,
it's pretty ridiculous parlay.
Yeah, I can't even do the multiple on that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think it was like 800x. He actually made it on BR betting as well.
Damn.
So.
How many teams do you have to hit for that? Like 10?
I think it might have even been more. It might have been like 12 to 14, I think. Yeah.
That's insane. How long have you been betting?
I want to say like over 5 years now.
Okay.
I've been betting since, obviously you have to be 21 to start betting, but I had my own bookies when I was like 18.
Yeah.
So when I was 18, I had a spell of like 3 months where I actually ran up like around $30,000 to $40,000. And then from that point on, I kind of started looking at, where I wanted to go from there, and try to start taking it full time. Obviously gambling has losses though too. So, been slapped in the face with those as well. So, but it's a process. So it's a marathon, not a sprint, I like to say. Over time we like to be profitable, and that's how I do what I do.
So you think in terms of like months, not like day by day?
Yeah. If you join and you just come on one day and you saw that I just hit a bunch of stuff the previous day, and you want to hit those as well, you might join. And I'm not preaching to just join and try to hit it big quick on one day. Because I am profitable over time with consistency.
Yeah.
So
are you more of an analytics type of guy, or do you just have a natural feel at this point?
I think it's both, but I also think analytics can only go so far. Like a lot of people will look at things and be like, oh, say baseball, this certain guy has hit off this certain pitcher, the last 3 games. Well, history doesn't always repeat itself. So analytics can kind of like not be helpful at sometimes, but also in other cases, it is helpful. In the same situation, for instance, if a hitter is hot off of a certain pitcher or something like that, could make you want to go towards that. But you can't simply just look at something that happened in the past and think it's going to happen again.
Absolutely. You mentioned soccer is your best sport. Who is the GOAT in soccer?
Messi, hands down. I don't even think it's a comparison. Easily the go to soccer. If you're really into soccer and you followed it your whole life, you know that. And even if you're not into it, there's statistics that prove it. Every accomplishment, he's achieved, literally has every trophy, more Ballon d'Ors and records that anyone will ever break.
Yeah.
In my lifetime and, the next, so.
A lot of people say Ronaldo, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a debatable thing. But in terms of like the GOAT, like the most special player, especially for me at least, like watching and comparing to the old GOATs like Pele and Maradona, Messi just has that factor that like no one can just have with like pure work ethic, which is what I see Ronaldo kind of striving for.
I feel that soccer bags are nuts. Didn't Ronaldo get like 100 mil for a year?
Yeah, so to go to Al Nassr in the Saudi Arabian league, he's millions. And Messi, I think, was also offered like $1 billion for like I think 1 or 2 seasons or something.
No way.
But he went to Inter Miami instead, and he actually got Apple stake, which is obviously worth a lot.
Wait, he got steak and Apple?
Yeah,
for
so he
to
took
Miami?
steak and Apple, for going to Inter Miami.
Holy crap! So he's playing the long game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, he has so much money, like it doesn't even matter at that point.
Yeah, $1 billion for him wouldn't even change his lifestyle, probably.
Yeah, of course.
That's crazy, man. You think you can make a lot of money in sports betting in the long term?
Yeah. I mean, if you're consistent, you have the proper management. Like you don't get reckless, you don't like chase losses. You stick to a unit system. I think it's definitely profitable, at least for soccer too. There's also, there's all types of prop bets for all sports, right? You can do player props, all types of things. For me, so if you look at like a football game, right, there's only a possible outcome is 50-50, right? Like a team could be favorited 100-1 to win, but the outcome probability is only 50-50. So one team's going to win, one's going to lose, right? Well, in soccer, normal season games, there's also a tie. So that gets broken down into, 33, 33, 33 for the possible outcome. That's why soccer is, I think, harder to bet on, because you don't get rewarded in the odds for taking that when you have a 33% less chance of an outcome happening. But also, that being said, you also can do teams to win or draw, which, you're covering 66% of the possible outcome, which, I think goes in our favor there.
Got it. I didn't even think about that. I thought the ties went to shootouts, though. Does it not?
No. So only in like tournament style games where like there has to be a winner, or if there's 2 legs. If it's tied, it'll go to extra time and then shootouts.
Got it.
But yeah, like normal season games and stuff like that, they'll just end ties. So if you picked one team and I picked the other team, it ends in a tie. We both lose.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty trash.
Do you prefer betting online on sites and apps or in casinos in person?
Probably I'd have to say online, just because you have more flexibility. You also have less chances of being restricted on, how much you're wagering, because a lot of places don't want your action. Like, last year I hit a $500,000 ticket at Caesars, and, they didn't want to take my action anymore. That night, I actually went to Spearmint Rhino, and we kind of went crazy there too. My one friend grabbed one of a 10 stack and, concussed a stripper, threw it across the building. So
Jeez. I'm
banned from there as well. But yeah, I mean, you just gotta have fun, But online, I think is better, because, like I said, you don't have a lot of people in your face and watching what you're doing and eyes on you, and sometimes they want to manipulate lines on you and whatnot, and those small margins make a huge difference in this game.
I feel that, and you hear people saying having an edge a lot in this space. Do you think it's possible to actually have an edge?
Yes, I think it is possible to have an edge. Like if you're a very profitable handicapper or sports bettor, you prove that you have that edge over time, which either through connections you have, insight you have on the game, things like that, or if you can see opening lines compared to closing lines, a lot of say like point spreads, stuff like that, they can change a few numbers between the opening and closing lines. So if you knew what the opening line is going to be like, you'll definitely have that edge, especially if you're going in, with that knowledge, you could have, more value expected, I guess.
Yeah. Do you ever bet on crazy prop bets like Gatorade color or like song?
Length? I think it depends on the situation. Like Super Bowl for sure. Yeah. Obviously. Not doing like crazy stuff all the time. I do love future parlays. Like picking a bunch of teams to win. Like last year I had the Florida Panthers and the Miami Heat to win it all, and I took that before the postseason, and I think it was like $100 to pay like something like 150,000, and they both went to the finals. And on online you can actually cash out versus if you buy your ticket in the actual casino, you have to go there and cash it. You don't have a cash out option. So both of those teams actually lost in the finals. Yeah. So the cash out option was the right choice there. So I was able to take some good profits there. It's not nearly close to 100, 150 that was offered, but off of $100, for and giggles, like 50 grand's pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah, I wonder what the casinos cap you out here. I've never tried to do a sports bet out here.
It depends. I know their multipliers usually cap at 100x. Okay. So if someone says elsewise, I'm not sure how true that is, but every sportsbook I went to out here, they won't really let you do more than 100x on parlays. So yeah, but and then I guess it determines like the amount you're wagering, right? So if you have 100x and you want to put like 50K on it or something, obviously that's going to raise some flags, and they're going to watch that, because it's not even worth, like, your 50K isn't worth what they'll have to pay out to you for them to take your action. Yeah. So that's why they just avoid that.
I remember, Bryce Hall tried to bet 50, right? And he got denied at Circle.
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah, they'll refuse. I know, like for instance, like a lot of places will only do like 10, like your local casinos, I don't even think they let you go past 10, like that. It's like, I don't know. It's just like, I guess them being scared, because they're more reliant on people not having knowledge and not having bankroll and not having like any insight. And they're just going in, putting parlays, straight bets, whatever, but it's only like $50, $20, but that adds up over time, versus someone goes in there, puts 100,000 down, takes 150 from you, profit, and they're 100 back. Like that's a bad night for you. You know what I'm saying?
Your though, man, because I remember I asked you about March Madness in like the second round. I asked you you'd have winning, and you said UConn.
Yeah. So we had UConn in my bracket. I actually did have UConn versus Purdue. So we cashed that. I had a bunch of great first round upsets. March Madness is probably one of the hardest things to predict. Yeah. Literally there's never been a perfect bracket. I can't even think of the odds. It's something ludicrous, but it's never happened. So obviously how it works is, the more teams you get right, the more points you get. And then that's how you get paid out with stuff like that, and picking those big upsets or, say a team that someone else could have going really far and losing,
Are you interested in coming on the Digital Social Hour podcast as a guest? Well, click the application link below in the description of this video. We are always looking for cool stories, cool entrepreneurs to talk to about business and life. Click the application link below, and here's the episode, guys.
Like Auburn, for instance, this March Madness, so they lost to Yale in the first round. So stuff like that, someone could have Auburn going to the semis, and now their whole bracket's busted.
Dude, I feel like every time I see Yale or Harvard in the first round, they win.
Dude, there's so many. I mean, we had Duquesne to win, and I think they were like plus 400, plus 500. So underdog. So I had them with the points, so plus 11 points, and I had them on the money line. So, I mean, head crack there. There was a few other ones as well. Just big stuff like that, like, North Carolina State. Yeah. Like if you rode them, I believe if you rode their 9-point win streak over like $10, you bet on them. If you rolled over your profits over their like 9-11 game winning streak, I think you would have had like 40K.
Holy crap.
So from $10. So, I mean, it's pretty fire. Just like, I've had some crazy streaks, I don't think it's mainly the length of the streak, but more of the consistency on like how often you're going on winning streaks, right? So, I've had 10 plus days where I'm winning my max plays every day, that's 10 plays or 10 days of, guaranteed wins. So, $100 better. If you bet 100 on my max play from day one and did the same thing, roll your profits for 10 days, you'd be over 100K as well. Yeah. So, and that's from rolling profits. I don't preach that, but, you always could start adding more in on certain things you like, and whatnot. But yeah, definitely just staying consistent, I would say, is key.
Absolutely. Who you got in the NBA playoffs coming up?
NBA playoffs. I like the Nuggets. I like the Thunder. I think the Thunder could be a shout to go far. A lot of youth on that team. It's actually a stat. They have a younger team on average than Duke does.
Wow.
So,
what?
Yeah,
how is that even possible?
I mean, Duke's got some 5 years, some 5-year guys on their team. But yeah, the team average age is actually younger than Duke.
Holy.
So, but yeah, I think they have a lot of potential. If Shea shows up. Their rookies can show up. I think they should go far, but I don't know. I mean, Nuggets maybe with the repeat, depending on how Embiid does. If he's good with his injury, they might go
Jamal's
far.
injured too, I think, right now.
Yeah, so it's going to be injuries. That's how this stuff works. It's like who has the most depth. Who has the most grit. When it comes to championships.
Some people think the NBA is rigged. What do you think about that?
I could see it. I personally am not like I could see more of American sports being rigged than international sports, or I guess more like European based sports like soccer or something like that. I can't see the culture of those players like rigging it, but NFL, NBA, MLB, stuff like that. I've been doing this so long and I've watched so many hours of games.
Yeah.
It's like some stuff, you can't even find a movie that has like different, like that has the outcomes that you watch, the bad beats you have or something like that. So I definitely do think there is that rigged play in, also with the refs too.
Anytime there's a human factor, I mean.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, I don't know. With the NBA, if you have refs that are just going for one team, it dictates the whole thing. And MLB, if you have an umpire that's calling strikes outside of the strike zone, now the batter has to swing at strikes outside of the strike zone. It their whole, whole momentum, everything. So, I think that goes the same with, NFL as well. Like Patrick Mahomes gets the most calls in the league, obviously he's great MVP, probably going to be a future Hall of Famer. But I don't know. I just think stuff like that dictates sports way too much. And especially when us guys got really big money on it, it's kind of a slap in the face. Yeah.
The MLB thing, I mean, with AI and tech these days, why do they even need an umpire? They could just have a box.
I truly don't know. They've been trying to do that for a while. And also in the minor leagues, they have a rule where if the batter disagrees with the ump's call, he can tap the top of his helmet. And they can challenge the call.
Wow, with a strike?
Yeah, so they can see that if it was outside of the strike zone, it will go to a ball, etc. And I don't know why they haven't implemented that in the MLB. We've been waiting for years now, but it's pretty crazy. I don't know. It's strange because the statistics between in baseball, right? If you have 2 balls, 1 strike, your on base percentage is a little bit above, basically a 0.35, so a little more than a 35% chance. If you go 1 and 2 the other way, it's like a 1.9, so 20% chance.
Oh wow!
So that small decrease can up a whole game.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that drastic. That's crazy. But yeah, with AI, I mean, they could literally have a box and determine if it's a strike or not. From that.
Like I said, they've been utilizing that stuff in college and minor leagues. We're just waiting for it to be implemented in the MLB. Especially when it's the serious sports, it's the pro sport. I don't know why we don't have the best stuff.
For real.
Like I said, especially when people have big money on things too.
Yeah, I mean, look at Chris Paul with that one ref. You saw that?
Yeah,
Scott Foster.
I don't know anymore. It's just. I feel like there definitely has to be some sort of AI or computer-based judging system. This way there isn't anything that's opinion-based, stuff like that. Like, for instance, with soccer too, like a lot of times for international matches, they have to find a neutral ref. Like, if you have Spain versus England, like they can't have a ref that has any background to either of the nations.
Oh, wow.
Because that could potentially influence things.
That's smart.
So, yeah, they always have a neutral-based ref. So that's just something that, also soccer has VAR. So every, determining factor in a game gets reviewed by more than 5 refs over replay, and that's just all game long, all the time, like unavoidable. It's not like, for instance, hockey or another sport when if there's not a foul called, you can't challenge that to call the foul. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like the foul has to occur for there to be a challenge on if it was a foul or not, etc. So if that's not even being acknowledged to begin with, then you can't even challenge. So that takes away the whole aspect of that part of the game.
And so many fouls are subjective too.
Exactly. That's why you have 3, 4, 5 refs, and you have 2 refs saying it's one team, 3 refs saying it's another team. There's just too much opinion based, and it's not strictly like what's right and wrong. And that's what I think should be, and like I said, especially if the open public is open to putting large amounts of money on it, that's something that has to be, controlled.
Yeah, for sure. Are you ever doing any live bets?
Yeah. So my lifetime chat, I do live bets all the time. Basically, I try to look at games that I'm either watching specifically or, for instance, games that have value that I don't want to take, before the game. And then if I can watch that game and see the team go down early or something, then the value is good. And then I can take that game when, realistically speaking, I was going to take them before the game started anyway.
Yeah.
But now I'm just getting a better price for it. I actually hit a live bet. I had a live bet on the Coyotes this year, a few weeks ago, I think. But yeah, I took them live in third period plus 1,500. So 15x for them to win.
Damn.
So yeah, I mean, you put $1,000 on that, it's 15K, stuff like that. It all depends on what you're putting on and what the multiplier is. But however you look at it, even if you put $100 on it, like your casual bettors, it's still $1,500, and you only need one thing to happen.
Absolutely. You ever bet on UFC or Power Slap?
Yeah, so I haven't gotten into Power Slap. I've been trying to get into it more. The UFC I'm huge into. I've been watching UFC since I've been like 8 years old.
Damn.
So yeah, I mean, UFC 300's coming up, so I'm gonna be going to that. I'm hyped for that. Got some locks for that as well.
Nice.
Probably be going crazy as well. So definitely look out for some clips of me losing my like usual.
You going Sean Perry on them, betting $1 million?
I don't know. We'll see. I got a few locks. I might be firing more on some parlays though.
Okay.
I got some straight bets. I'm loading out. 6 figures on a few of them. And then, I don't know. We'll see. My birthday's coming up too, so I might just do a crazy parlay and put like 50,000 on it or something. We'll see.
Get banned from another strip club?
Yeah, maybe. Throw another brick. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Dude, I like Jamal Hill, but I don't know if he'll win this one.
I don't see him winning.
I was looking at Alex's last 10 fights. I don't think he's lost.
It's crazy because Jamal's last win when he got the belt. He actually fought Pereira's training partner. So, he also has some
intel.
Yeah, he has some intel. He knows how he fights. He also kind of wants to get that revenge because, the guy's kind of on his way out.
Yeah.
And Jamal Hill tore his Achilles playing basketball for some reason.
Dude, I was there.
Really?
Bro, he played on it. He's insane, bro. We were literally playing like a UFC basketball game. He picked me up on his team, and he tore it, and no one believed him.
Yeah.
And then he went back on the court to take the final shot.
He had to get surgery too, right?
Yeah, he's different, man.
Yeah.
To be able to play on that.
Bro, I saw this video today that ironically is making me think differently about the fight. And it's just a video of him literally freestyling.
Rapping?
Yeah, he's freestyling, bro.
Really?
Yeah, everyone's got a blunt in hand too.
Was it good?
Oh, bro, it's fire. I gotta show it to you.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of freestyle, man.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I don't know if he's spitting like that. We'll see how he shows up. Hopefully he's in the right mindset though, or he's gonna get knocked the out.
Do you have any weird rituals or superstitions when you're winning?
Yeah, so I actually got a lot. So I got ones before I place my bets. If I'm on hot streaks, stuff like that. For instance, when I was on 10 games plus or 10 days plus of max plays, I actually wasn't showering. That's how superstitious I was. I know it sounds a little gross, but hey man, girls were still going down on me. I had to wave my hand a little bit to get the fumes out of the way. But hey, it still works, man. So anything that works. I don't watch certain broadcasts of the teams that I'm betting against. I rather watch the broadcast of the team I'm betting for. All stuff like that. I mean, just I got the craziest rituals. I won't put tickets in certain sides of my wallet. Things like that. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Where can people find out more about you and your picks, man?
My ad on IG is at Pat's Picks. You can come rock with me. I do free plays sometimes. I have loads of packages for beginners, people who are more advanced, people who are more serious. If you're looking to make this a part-time gig that's actually passive income, I definitely recommend, joining for life. And, once you're in, one-time payment, you're in with me for life. You can message me personally anytime and, you're riding with me because I ride on all the bets I send out. I really do this. So, if you want to start doing it too, lock in.
Oh yeah, we'll link below. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thanks for watching, guys. See you tomorrow.